Hey, good morning to you. This is Walk and Talk 282. We're talking about being helpful, talking about fruitful, talking about the good life, talking about what does it take not to destroy. So life can become dysfunctional. So how do you go from dysfunction to being fruitful, to being helpful, to the good life? I'm suggesting in this Walk and Talk 282, it's October 23rd, we're looking at Proverbs chapter 11, verse 30. It's just an amazing little verse. It says, "The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life." A tree of life. So you can do right and not destroy. You can do right and become a tree of life. In other words, life-giving, fruit-bearing. You can be helpful, not destructive. Give you some practical application. The Bible is simply saying there is right and there is wrong. There's good, there's bad. The Bible is simply saying that you can take your life and you can be fruitful. You can be helpful. You can also be destructive. You can become dysfunctional. So there is definitely two options. I'm encouraging you in this Walk and Talk to make sure that you make your decisions, whatever they may be, good morning, and choose to do right. Don't destroy. When you choose wrong, when you make unhealthy choices, when you make choices that are anti-God, anti-Bible, anti-Jesus, you create dysfunction. So dysfunction is the opposite of life, the tree of life. It's the tree of destruction. It's the tree of dysfunction. So your life can be functional, healthy, fruitful, or dysfunctional, unhealthy. So, in other words, basically the fruit tree doesn't produce. I'm encouraging you to recognize right versus wrong, or some people could say good, better, best, versus bad, versus not good, versus worst. In this Walk and Talk, the challenge of life is to make healthy decisions, not unhealthy. See, the good life, the tree of life, the good life is being helpful. It's encouraging. It's making decisions that build people up. Proverbs 11:30 says, "The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life." In other words, the fruit of the righteous would be the person who's making good choices, good decisions, the person who is taking the advice, taking the truth that God gives from the Bible, that Jesus gives, and you're making decisions based upon, this is what the Bible says, this is what Jesus says, and that's right. It's not wrong. It's wrong to be anti-Jesus. It's wrong to be anti-Bible. So doing right brings a positive, helpful, fruitful. When you choose not to obey, when you choose bad, when you choose evil, all of a sudden, life becomes destructive or dysfunctional. Do right, and you become fruitful. Choose wrong, make the evil decision, make poor decisions, and you become destructive, dysfunctional, unhealthy. Mental health, good mental health, is a result of making good decisions. The Bible would call that right decisions. The Bible would say good, right decisions is based upon what the Bible says. Wrong decisions are based upon, bad decisions are based upon the opposite of the Bible. So if you want to improve your mental health, if you want to improve your functional life, if you want to go from dysfunction to functional, from unhealthy to healthy, from less stress, you need to make decisions that are right. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life. So when you make right decisions, right choices, you become like a fruit tree. Productive, fruitful, fruit-bearing. When you follow Jesus, when you obey Jesus, you become encouraging. You become healthy. You become fruitful. You become edifying. You become balanced. You become less stressful, more hopeful. I'm suggesting from this little verse in Proverbs 11:30, the fruit of the righteous is a tree of life. Follow Jesus, obey Jesus, do what he suggests, do what he teaches, and you will find the good life. You will become the tree of life. You will participate in creating a healthy environment for your children, for your friends, for family, for your relatives. There is a synergism. There is a ethos. There is a environment that's created when people make good decisions, decisions that agree with the Bible, decisions that agree with Jesus, decisions that are aligned with God, and all of a sudden things get better. I'm going to give you some practical suggestions. Number one, remember there is right versus wrong, good versus bad. There is good versus evil. Just remember that when you make a decision, when you choose to act on that thought, there are always consequences. And the tree of life grows, develops, matures. Your environment gets better when you choose to follow Jesus in your decision making, in your thoughts, when you choose to obey Jesus. So the righteous is someone who follows, who obeys the Bible, Jesus, God. Make sure if you are thinking bad thoughts, if you're angry, if you're mad, if you're depressed, if you're discouraged, that comes from an environment, that comes from decisions that are hurting you. Even people in the worst tragedy can improve their environment, their circumstance, by making right decisions. Even people who go through situations at no fault to their own, other people make bad decisions. They can still come out positive, helpful, fruitful, encouraging. The tree of life is based upon right decisions that agree with God, that agree with the Bible. I'm encouraging you, use your brain, use your choices to advance right decisions. Remember, Proverbs 11:30, the fruit of the righteous is a tree of life. A tree is living, a tree is vibrant, a tree grows, a tree matures, a tree bears fruit. A tree is alive, it's dynamic, it's healthy. It produces. Practical suggestion: if you're caught in a circumstance, if you're in a situation where, from your point of view, things are not going well, you're in a situation where you would say it's dysfunctional, it's not healthy, it's a discouraging time, it's not a positive time. I'm suggesting make decisions, make choices that are righteous. What's righteous? Anything that agrees with Jesus, anything that agrees with the Bible. Make those decisions, and you will watch your life will go from dysfunction to functional, to healthy, from unhealthy to healthy. Even if you're in a bad situation, you can move from the negative to the positive. But you have to make decisions. Recently, an individual was found to be in a very difficult situation. Somebody else made bad decisions, and this individual made the decisions to disconnect, to make adjustments, and stepped away, backed away from the bad decisions that someone else was making, and became more functional. Life became more healthy, more balanced. Anytime that you make decisions that are right, listen, it's good for you. It's also good for everybody else around you. When decisions are made that are that are bad, that are anti-God. Everybody is affected negatively. Remember, the tree of life has branches, it extends, and it can be a positive reach. It can extend out. I'm encouraging you to make sure that you recognize that if you're in an environment, a situation where there are bad decisions, you can step back, you can make right decisions, and things will get better. The tree of life has a lot of resilience. The tree of life can withstand storms. There's limits. The more good decisions that you make, the more right decisions that you make, the tree gets stronger. The tree of life. The tree of life produces more fruit. Remember, life is connected in many ways that we cannot see. There's a physical connection, there's an emotional connection, there's a spiritual connection. When friends make bad decisions and you're close to those friends, the tidal wave, the tsunami can affect you. When you make good decisions, you can be a positive on others. The Bible says the fruit of the righteous is a tree of life. I'm encouraging you, don't destroy things around you. Don't destroy your life. Do right, not evil. Make decisions that agree with God, agree with the Bible. Do right, and the tree of life grows, advances, matures. Everybody benefits. Practical suggestion to you. The tree of life, I have some fruit trees in my backyard, some grapefruit and oranges, juice oranges. If I water them regularly, they're beautiful. If I don't water them regularly, they dry up. So if you make lots of right decisions, decisions to follow Jesus, decisions to obey Jesus, decisions to obey the Bible, to obey God, righteous decisions, what happens simply is, good morning, you have an amazing watering system. This tree of life just continues, and the tree flourishes. But if you don't make good decisions, and you make bad decisions, or people around you make bad decisions, then everybody is negatively impacted. So the more right decisions you make, the more the tree of life gets watered, and everybody benefits. But if you make poor decisions or wrong decisions, you'll discover very quickly that, like my fruit trees in the backyard, they will wither. They will eventually not live, but die. Do right, Don't destroy. The tree of life is about productivity. The tree of life is about being fruitful. You don't want to destroy your life or the lives of people around you. This is Walk and Talk 282. It's October 23rd. We invite you to worship with us this coming Sunday at 9:30 and 11. We encourage you to find a church, get into every Sunday, get into a church, get into the Bible. If you can find a small group, pick up the book of the Bible and go to the book of John and just start reading it. Go to the book of Genesis and just start reading. You can contact the church office, First Baptist Church, Tempe, Arizona, 480-839-0926. If you ask for a staff member, if you got questions, more than happy to give you some thoughts. You can check out our church on the website, FBC-Tempe.org. We have Bible classes for all ages, children, teenagers, singles, married, not married. Just feel the freedom to contact the church or the website, fbc-tempe.org. We encourage you to be the tree of life, not the tree of death or destruction. We encourage you to bear lots of fruit of righteousness, lots of decisions, choices that are good, not evil. Make the decisions that help you and the people around you. Decisions that are pro-Jesus, not anti-Jesus, pro the Bible, not anti-Bible, pro-God, not anti-God. And you will find the tree of life expanding, maturing, developing. This is Walk and Talk 282. It's October 23rd. It's a cool 60 degrees this morning. It's a beautiful morning. My hope for you is you would make your decisions in agreement with Jesus. Blessings on you.